have worked on so many flag projects. Currently, I have either hand sewn, put up, or made every single flag you see on from the Ferry Building to Castro Street, because I take care of the ones that fly on the poles for the month of June. I just sewn 2,000 straps and got that all done. The ones on the gay center, the triangular ones, I actually made those, put the poles up and mounted those. I take care of that. And of course, I take care of the large gay flag at Castro and Market. I sew that and take care of that. I don't make the flags, they're made by a manufacturer, but we do the headings and get all the apparatus and make them work. So I am sort of the official flag guy, not because of anything else, just because I'm the only one that technically knows how to sew it and do all the different things on it. Jay Young from Bloomingdales was looking to do something in the center of his store where he had a current display going, and he wanted to remove it and possibly put something in for Pride. He knew someone that knew me, which that's thousands of people, and said, oh, well, I know the flag guy. This is his phone number, and call him up. So I got a call from Jay Young saying, you know, could we borrow a flag, or could you do a flag for us? Was going to only hang one flag. And then they said it would be so important if the flag could be seen from the Market Street entrance. So that means I would have to lower the big flag down so the tail of it would be shown from the ground floor. And so then that left a space above, so I filled that in with an 8-color flag. Just to give some history to it. And then Paul filled in the history floor by floor by floor. And he asked about the history of the flag, and could we have a small bit about the history? And I said, oh, I will call Paul in, because Paul is the history person. The flag that I hung up there is the one that I worked with Gilbert Baker when we made the mile-long flag in New York. So it was the widest flag and the longest flag. Oh, not the longest. The longest one was when he did the one in Key West. But the Key West flag was narrower because the streets were much smaller. So this was the mile-long flag that we did in 93, 94. And it was for the mile-long flag in New York. This is a piece of it that's left. So the one on top is the 8-color flag. It was made not that many years ago and was flown for a short time here in San Francisco. But as you see by looking at it, the pink is already faded and the turquoise didn't hold up. It was the original gay flag was 8 colors, but since the pink dye in the fabric does not hold up, it and the turquoise 2 colors were eliminated many, many years ago, back in the 70s, and they decided to use the 6 colors that we have today. So I'm showing one of those on the top to kind of give a history of how the flag sort of happened. There was also another gay flag that had stars and stripes in one corner and the gay colors as we know it today. So there were actually 3 different ones, and the one that was eventually chosen, worked out to be the most practical one, I should say, is the one that we use today with the 6 colors. So in my exhibit, I'm showing the 6-color one, and I'm showing one of the 8-color ones. I could not get the one, there is one in San Francisco that has stars and stripes on it, but I couldn't get that one for this display this year. So we were trying to show a little history, not only the flag, a little history of the flag. My history to the gay flag is that I met Gilbert Baker after the gay flag was actually invented, late in the 70s. I can't get the exact date. And I was working at Topless Bars downtown, and I needed someone to help me sew big draperies for my stage shows. And so that's what Gilbert did. So then I became involved with Gilbert and the gay history movement and the gay flags and so on. And then through the years, when we had big gay flag projects, either in Europe or here, I serve as the technical person to see how we're actually going to do it and how physically we're going to attach it, so on.
I kind of think it's pretty awesome because I'm like kind of nerdy person that likes to learn stuff everywhere I go, and if I'm shopping and I get to learn something, oh my gosh, it's kind of crazy. And I had no idea about the pink panel in the turquoise, and I went to art school, so I learned the Roy G. Biv. So this is like a whole new rainbow for me. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about it and walking away feeling like I'm a better person.
I go back to the Stonewall days where in New York City, gay people were arrested for being in a bar. And to have it now in this 2013, to see gay pride being honored so distinctly throughout Bloomingdales, a major department store in San Francisco, honoring gay pride is just amazing how far gay people have come and in the LGBT community. Well, I just think anyone shopping in the store, I mean, I'm a Bloomingdale's customer for many years going back to New York City, and I think it's nice that they're showing appreciation of the community by taking the time and effort to, put all these displays throughout the store for everyone who's shopping in the store to see.
My name is Paul Gabriel, and I cooperated with Bloomingdale's as a historical consultant. The reason why I was approached as an historical consultant was that Tom Taylor, who made the flag for Bloomingdale, the flags for Bloomingdale's, referred them to me. And the reason why he referred them to me is that I used to be the exhibits director for the GLBT Historical Society in San Francisco. And I was also community historian for them. I did a lot of oral histories. I helped bring collections into their archives. And I did many exhibits about the queer community here in San Francisco, or created a venue where other people could come and curate exhibits. Gilbert Baker, to be careful here, but what I know about Gilbert Baker was that he moved to San Francisco and he became friends with people like Cleve Jones, who went on to start the AIDS Quilt Project. And they were friends with Harvey Milk. And they were a group of people who were sort of a second wave of gay activists. They wanted a banner. They wanted a banner for Harvey. They wanted a flag to fly for this new movement. And so they ran up these two flags. And I think it's kind of wonderful to remember that one was an American flag. There's a kind of beautiful patriotism there, in that they went through the democratic process. And they won. There was a company, a flag company, that had their office on Polk Street. And Polk Street at that time was also a gay area where there were a lot of gay people and gay bars and gay businesses. And Gilbert Baker actually worked there part-time. And so they would go to pride celebrations, like they would go to any large city gathering, like any large city fair or parade or something, and they'd have a table out and they would sell flags. So that year the flag went up, and then they said people began to come in and ask for the rainbow flag. There was an instant demand for it. The problem was that the eight colors that were in the hand-dyed 8 colors that are sort of the rainbow colors are not commercially available. So they originally deleted one of the colors, so it was a 7-bar. And then eventually they just got it down to 6, because 6 was an even number. It was cheaper to make, and it was easy to mass reproduce. And this transition happened within 1 calendar year, or at the most 1.5 calendar years. It was very, very quick. And suddenly that 6-bar flag went viral. My feeling is, watching what happened here in San Francisco, is that there was this very powerful grassroots surge of community. And I think, to me, the rainbow flag stands for that. It stands for the ability for individuals to make a difference together. It's a beautiful symbol of diversity and unity, of individuality and universality. My name for Gilbert, I call Gilbert the queer Betsy Ross.
I don't know why it's at Bloomingdale's. I think it's interesting that it's here. I like the little blurbs, so I get to know about the flag and where it's from, and Yeah, but I don't know why it's in Bloomingdales.
You know, I don't go to malls. I just came by to say hi to some friends. And I see it there, and it was kind of, I don't know, it makes me feel good.
I love that this is here. I heard about it from a friend, and I have never seen the original one. It's been storied about in San Francisco for years, but I've never seen it. I was talking to one of the gentlemen involved with putting this together, and he said that they do themes here. Like for the Chinese New Year's, they had the red lanterns going on down into this spot, and that it's a way for a New York company to become part of San Francisco. And that, to me, eased up the commercialism a little bit, that it was, you know, they were just becoming part of the community and part of the culture here in San Francisco, and I appreciated that.
Just perfect, you know, for Pride Weekend coming up, which this whole town lights up, and it's always a wonderful, wonderful time. Happy Pride, San Francisco.
I think that the people who walk through the store see it and see the gay issue as an issue, as they all have their own opinions, but maybe by taking an extra glance at the history exhibit, and they will maybe read a little bit more, become a little more informed. So it's not just a one-sided issue. There's 2, 3, 4 different sides to it. There are many stories involved. And by walking through the store, going up and down the escalators, the flags just bring your attention over to the history part of it. So then you are maybe interested in stopping and reading a little bit about the history. And I think that will be helpful in the long run. We certainly get much more exposure there than we do like in other gay issues where it's 18th and Castro. Well, most of the gays walk right past the gay museum. They're not interested. But in Bloomingdales, we have people from all over the world. We have people from every walk of life walking through there. So it's a much better exposure to tell our story to others from all over the world.
It's almost a miracle that a large a prestigious American corporation in one of its largest flagship stores in the United States is flying this flag that came out of a grassroots movement of a group of people seeking like full dignity and full first-class citizenship. And we're still not there, but we're getting a lot closer. And they're, in a way, you know, I could see how they might be afraid, because they might be afraid of offending some customers and so on and so forth, but it just says how much the world has changed. That you can ride the escalator and there's pride.